Order in the court. Oh, I miss my gavel, man. What it do, y'all? It's your brother, man, from the motherland, coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that Samba Conversation. For those that don't know who I am him, Junes, the Honorable Junes, the NBIC. Giving all praise and glory to the heavenlies, for they are worthy to be what? To be praised. Last but not least, I want to give a shout out to all you guys for your continuous support, leaving all that feedback, the positive, the negative, all things is respected because it allows me to do what I do best, and that is to continue keeping my foot on you heathens, you he-grows, and the newly installed heathenites. Next round of applause for that. Yeah, man. Hey, my apologies for last week, Samba. I had a family arrangement. I had to go see my aunt, a lady I haven't seen for 30 plus years. Um, had a lot of building to do, connected, touch on a lot of things, you know, the touchy things, man. You know what I'm saying? Open old wounds, open up old doors, but these things was needed to happen to receive closure at the end. So I had the opportunity to go there, and I definitely wouldn't miss it for the world. So shout out to my aunt, shout out to my cousins, shout out to my other four cousins that I've never met until that day, last week Saturday. Shout out to them, man. I hope we continue connecting. It's not about what happened in the past. It's definitely about what we doing in the future. So it was a very wonderful thing, very wonderful. And I definitely got to do a live or a video and give you guys an insight of what went down. But overall, it was phenomenal. I can't complain. I'm grateful for this. You know what I'm saying? All praises be to the creators, for they all worthy, man. And they're all worthy, man, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, my week has been phenomenal. Had a wonderful week. It's been hot out here in New York. God damn, it's been hot. It's been hot physically. It's been hot spiritually. It's been hot emotionally. It's just like everything is going complete chaos within, the inner city streets. All things like this is gonna be expected when you are individuals living in darkness under evil people's control. So a lot of these things is just gonna end up being what it is, right? But other than that, man, my week was phenomenal. Last but not least, shout out to my clients. Shout out to the new client potentials, where, like I said, it's all about building, right? Restoring order, restoring the order within self, restoring the order within our household. Then we can manifest and bring it out to the community, so the whole world can adapt and we all can move in harmony, right? But on today's Summer Conversation, man. Man. Listen, when I tell you the attack upon our people is for real, it's for real, guys. When I tell you the things that these people are doing to our land, it's for real, guys. It's for real, it's for real. And I wanted to just touch on it, right? We've made the transition, and I'm speaking about the Holy Land. The people in the Holy Land in itself made a transition from colonialism to neocolonialism. So we went from being colonized to now we are being neo-colonialism, right? Neo-colonialized, excuse me. For those that don't know, the term neo is like micro. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm watching you, I'm giving you orders, rules, and regulations, but I'm doing it from afar, right? So I was watching something, and shout out to all the African elders, and all these African elders are saying the same thing. Um, the worst thing that has happened to us, of course, has been the colonializing of the land, but also the um, the neo-colonialism that's taking place. Now, I'm not going to tell you too much. I'm just going to give you guys the presentation on it. But overall, the country has not been the same since the 18th century. They tell you the 19th, but the 19th is when they started doing their conference and all this madness. But the country in itself has not been the same since the 18th centuries. And there's a lot of things that's, going that goes into our demise, and there's a lot of things that's going into our confusion. And the number one thing I keep telling you guys, the number one thing is these people have given us a religion that our forefathers has no understanding about. And they have put this religion in something called the Biblos. And this Biblos has been given unto the slaves to do what? Exactly what it's doing now, to neutralize and civilize the victims of war. So we see all of these things going on, and we are in a space where we're waiting or hoping for someone to redeem us or help us and guide us out of this European construct that has been doing more damage to our people than good. So I had to take the time out and, touch in on this neo-colonialism and how it's affecting us and how it's been affecting us, right? How this attack that's been upon Black people has been going on for quite some time, and it's not getting any better. It's not getting any better. And it's time for us, and when I say us, it's time for the Black and brown people to restore order. You understand? And I'm going to throw this out there. For the things that we are trying to achieve, a lot of individuals will be persecuted. A lot of individuals will be incarcerated. A lot of individuals will eventually be taken out. But just understand that your reward comes from the things that you do on this earth. Okay? We're going to kill all of these fairy tales, these mystical stories that these people has placed before us to deceive us, to mislead us, to unguide us, because we are not being guided. We are sitting here in a space of hope. We think, we hope, we wonder, we assume. None of us can come to a conclusion because the information and the stuff that we have, we can't say that this is 100% accurate because we don't have the original. We don't have nobody. We don't have the people to acknowledge and justify the information. Individual is dead and gone, maps is stolen, books is burnt, libraries was burned, just a lot of things that's been going on when it's pertaining to us finding our heritage, our culture, our ways of life. But that's neither here nor there. We're gonna dive into today's Samba Conversation. I hope you guys got your wine. I ain't drinking nothing. I should have did something before I started, but it is what it is. If you see me pause, it's because I went to go get some water. Pause. All right. So let us dive into it, people. Oh. Okay. As you can see, neocolonialism and its impact on Africa, aka El Kabule, right? Understand the modern exploitation. All right? Cool. Introduction to neocolonialism. Let's give the definition. Neocolonialism is the practice of exerting indirect control over the developing countries, particularly former colonized, right? Through economic, political, cultural, and other forms of influence. Unlike direct colonialism, which involves direct governance and military control, neocolonialism operates through a more subtle and often insidious means. Okay? Cool. Let us continue. Colonial rule. Historical background, colonial legacy, colonial rule. European powers, including Britain, France, Portugal, and Belgium, colonized vast parts of Africa from the late 19th centuries until the mid 20th century, aka the Berlin Conference. We know that is longer than that. Their invasion and them being in our space, the minute they came and they was removing, killing, and butchering, that's when the colonization starts. But for layman's terms, for them to hide their evilness, they want to tell you that it started with the Berlin Conference. But anyway, the independent movements. Post-World War II, African nations gained independence, with many achieving self-governance by the 1960s and the 70s. However, the transition from colonial rule to full sovereignty was complex and fraught with challenges. However, the end of direct colonial rule did not mean the end of foreign influence. Instead, a new form of control emerged known as neocolonialism. South Africa became an apartheid state in 1945. Why did I put that there? Because I want you guys to understand, once they took control of Africa, South Africa, right, the holies of holies, right, that's when they was comfortable to release their supposedly releasing their stronghold and giving individuals their independence by 1960s and 70s, right? Cool. The fight for independence in Africa was marked by a combination of peaceful negotiation, armed struggles, and civil disobedience. Influential leaders and movements played a pivotal role in achieving self-governance. However, the legacy of colonialism and the challenges of building stability, prosperous nations continue to affect the continent. The resilience and the determination of African nations to overcome these challenges remain a testament to their enduring spirit and quest for true autonomy. Shout out to the brothers and sisters that's still out there fighting. I'm gonna give you guys some crazy stuff, but shout out to you guys, the ones that's waking up. Definitely a big shout out to you, right? Let us continue. Power vacuum. The withdrawal of colonial powers left a power vacuum that was quickly filled by new form of external influence. Okay, just remember these things. The Cold War dynamics. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union sought to exert influence in Africa, often supporting regimes and movements that align with the geopolitical interests. Okay? That's also including Russia, people. Like, especially us here in America, we hold Putin and Russia to high regards, not knowing that these people also got their hands in our destruction. Okay? Cool. Let me bring this a little closer. Bring it a little closer. Now we're gonna talk. Now this is mechanisms of neocolonialism and economic control. We got the foreign aids and loans. Many African countries rely on foreign aids and loans from international organizations like the IMF and the World Bank. These financial aids often come with stringent conditions that influence the economic policies of the recipient countries. Trade agreements. Unfavorable trade agreements often benefit developed countries at the expense of African economics. These agreements can lead to the exploitation of natural resources and labor. I want you guys to remember that. The agreement can lead to the exploitation of natural resources and labor. I want you guys to remember that, okay? The multinational corporations, large corporations from developed countries often dominate key sectors in African economics, such as mining, agriculture, and telecommunication. This dominance can stifle local businesses and lead to economic dependency. Dependency. Make sure you remember these things that's being said, man. Western countries like to believe that they have equipped the African continent with the capability to achieve freedom. But today, more than 60 years after the last European countries relinquished their colonial claims in Africa, the continent is still riddled with corruption, poverty, and turmoil. Now, you should know them by their fruits. You know, once these people plant their seed, wherever these people plant their seed, it will always be wrath and destruction. I want you guys to remember that. Pay attention to that. Okay? These problems only exist because the old colonial relationships between Western powers and African nations never truly went away. They are still alive today and just as relevant as ever. Only now they're under a new title, and it's called neocolonialism. The term neocolonialism emerged when the world was undergoing a massive change in the mid 20th centuries and refers to the modern dynamics between Western and African entitles that perpetuate exploitation and oppression. In this period, new international treaties and organizations like the United Nations and the Vienna Convention on the Diplomatic Relations meant countries became a part of a global network and were therefore accountable for their actions. So now they're creating things. I'm just gonna read. I don't want to go too far. We're gonna get back to it. Just remind me. The years of the Crusade, conquest, and copes, which had defined European foreign policy since the Middle Ages, were replaced by gray areas between diplomacy and war. Right? Power blocks composed of multiple countries that act as one meant engaging in traditional forms of conflict, invasion, colonialism, and annexation. Granted, economic and political runs for the aggressor for many European countries, especially those economically rely heavily on Africa, this meant they need to find a way to continue to control its former colonize. Okay? Let us continue. In 1961, people, the All African People Conference, AAPC, described neocolonialism as the deliberate and continued survival of colonial system in an independent African state by turning these states into victims of political, mental, economic, social, military, technical forms of dominations carried out through indirect and subtitle meanings that did not include direct violence. This was said by C. Nicole, the founder of the Pan African think tank. In short definition, neocolonialism is the use of economic, political, culture, or other presses to control or influence other countries, especially former colonials. Okay? Now, as you can see, it says by turning these states into victims of political, mental, economic, social, military. Now, what did I not now by me saying that, what's something that has control over all three of these things I just mentioned? What has control over all three of these, what I just mentioned, is religion. Okay? Religion has their hands in politics. Mental health is demons. They have their hands in that. Economics, you know how much they generate. You know that they don't pay taxes. Okay, social, they the ones that's bringing forth information that's telling you how you should act, how you should live, telling you stories that God loves everybody, and that He sent His only begotten Son to die for you. These are the things that we're being exposed to. These are the stuff that they're telling us. You understand? And of course, you know about the military. I don't have to explain that. Christopher Columbus came into the New World, supposedly the New World, with military might, preaching religion in the name of Jesus. That's why his name was changed to Christopher, Christ barrier. But that's neither here. That's another time for that, right? Neocolonialism was intentionally a natural step forward for newly independent countries. So they thought that, you know, obliging and supporting and believing in this new system, this neocolonialism, they thought it was going to be a step forward. But let us continue. Right? Logically, some sort of independence on the parent's country would linger since the African colonies has political and economic structures that were geared towards the need of its colonializer, excuse me. This meant that frequently the best opportunities available to the new countries was to allow previous existing corporations and government to continue their operations. However, decades later, neocolonialism remained, and African countries never truly escaped the imperial control. Okay, let us continue. African countries started fighting for their independence, but the European countries still needed resources to sustain their country economically, right? Continue, see no coal, included ending the leadership of African presidents and prime ministers whose policies didn't align with European powers. What that basically means is, even though you have a president or a prime minister, these people must still answer to these European powers. Mind you, this is your land. I want you guys to pay attention. Okay? African countries still rely on military protection and financial assistance, okay? Which allows European countries to indirectly maintain their hands over African countries. All right? They purposely suck us dry and put us in a state of needing military support. See, when you hear the word military, that means they are there to set up their bases. And if you was to, let's just say, rebel, they have their military there in place to do what? To neutralize. And they're going to neutralize you in the name of Jesus. Let us continue. Africa, when examined at the surface level, should be significantly wealthier than it actually is. The continent possesses vast natural resources, like the majority of the world's gold, platinum, diamond, cobalt, and uranium. Despite this, the entire continent has a GDP that is roughly $2 trillion less than of Japan, 2.7 trillion compared to the 4.9 trillion as of 2021. The most powerfulest country is producing or should I say, is intaken from their production 10 times less, 2 times less than the Japanese, which is a 10 times smaller continent, or we don't even consider it a continent, a country compared to Africa, right? Bantu Princess, how you doing? Where was I? A country with a population and the land size more than 5 times smaller than it. This disparity is an inactive of the depressed economic state in Africa and reveals the extent to which African potential as a economic power has been crippled. Again, these are intentional. Okay? These are intentional. Let us continue. The explanation is simple. It says more wealth leaves Africa than enter in. This has been allowed to occur because of the historical legacies of the colonization and the exploitative trade practices that remain after colonialism ended in Africa. Unequal trade relationships where African nations often export raw material at low prices while exporting finished goods. So they're basically taking their stuff, getting it for the low. These people are then making it and then shipping it back to us on high. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? That is beyond nuts. You understand? Where African nations often export raw materials at low prices while importing finished goods at a higher cost, perpetuating this wealth drain. Weak governance, corruption, and inadequate infrastructure hinders local investments and create an environment that is less attractive to foreign investors. That means that even wealth gained in Africa is not frequently reinvested into African cities. Moreover, the limit access to finance, technology, and markets constrains Africa's ability to harness and resource and develop sustainable industries, right? Africa's weakened economy and politics structures is particularly responsible for the fact that the continent has the largest wealth disparity in the world. Its economic emphasize on the natural resources and essential ecosystem service, with it composing an estimate of 60% of its GDP, allowing wealth disparity to occur by providing the right conditions the monopolists to form. In instance like South Africa, where the top 10% owns 90% of the entire country's wealth. The 10%, that's they're telling you that the Europeans own 90% of the entire country's wealth. If this does not piss you off, I do not know what to tell you. Okay? Display the economic efforts of unequal societies. The situation is so there that there are some undeniable parallels between the existence and the colonial economics. Clearly, although African governments have had time to establish successful countries, the current system isn't working and it's actually sinking. It's sinking. Now you guys can take it how you want to take it. Some people may take the sinking as something that needs to be done, and others is taking it as, yo, man, if we sink, we ain't never gonna be able to rise. You understand? It's a very, very, very crazy thing that's going on in the Holy Land, man. A lot of craziness that's going on. I've been speaking to a few brothers. I say, hey, man, I'm trying to get land. And it's like my own people that lives there. You know, it's like you trying to live in my hood. I could tell you, yo, man, yo, let me go holler at my son. My son could see what he could do for you. My people don't have that access. And it's crazy. It's crazy that the people don't have the access. And then those that supposedly got the access, they're not going to do that unless they get some PC, or they'll take all your money and lie to you, and you go out there and have absolutely nothing. It's crazy. Like the corruption, what I read before, it's crazy, people. It's crazy, right? Let us continue. So I took this, I screenshotted this picture. It was elaborating on the things I just said. It's just a little bit more in depth. So, I screenshotted it and I'm gonna read it, of course. It says economically is the driving force for development of any country. Without economic development, no country can achieve development. In the African context, imperialist countries has applied economic tools as a arm to dominate the newly independent countries. Don't ever think these people is going to set you free. Like I tell you guys all the time, the word says that no man shall redeem you. No man shall redeem you. We are the ones that's going to have to redeem ourselves. No man shall redeem you. And that right there is a prime example. Okay? It says during the decolonization, Kwame Nkrumah, the president of Ghana, who stated that neocolonialism is the worst form of imperialism and the highest stage of capitalism. Okay? For Nkrumah is such a system by which colonial powers like Britain, Germany, French, and Belgium gave the liberation to the colonies in one hand, but on the other hand, they robbed this liberation. He taught without economic independence, the political independence is vain and its absolute liberty will not come. It will not come. This is the president of Ghana who's dead and gone. May the creators have mercy on his soul. Okay? He's telling you it will not come. On 30 December 1965, a neocolonial critique was published on the Daily Azad, the prominent newspaper of the East Pakistan, where the editor had explained the ultimate goal of neocolonialism was to transform into newly independent countries to underdeveloped countries, and at any cost. The imperialist countries wanted to do so. As a consequence, the sovereign countries lost his sovereignty, and colonial exploitation became a continuous process to this country, and the integrating was substantially by the capitalist country like the United States of America. But the meaning of the neocolonialism was not that had to stop investing in underdeveloped countries, but the real meaning would invest in less developed countries, that countries would get most of the profit of its investing. So these superpowers was investing to a country because it's like, yo, you need this. We got that. We got what you need. But everything that they was investing into us, they was getting back times 20. This is what you call loans. This is what you see going on in America with the inflations and the the interest rates. What's going on there is being done here. It's nothing new under the sun. And I'm gonna elaborate more on what's being done there is happening here. We're gonna elaborate more on it. But let us continue. Where was I? Okay. It says, on the other hand, the war of neocolonialism is greater than the political war. Kwame the Nkrumah said, we again rededicated ourselves in the struggle to emancipate other countries in Africa for our independence and meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent. This meaningless independence referred the economic exploitation of Africa, and the process was begun from the colonial rule. Moreover, African states have an estimate 53% of the world's industrial minerals and the metal reserve. Nkrumah claimed, but her resources had been and still are being used for the greater development of the overseas interests. So here's a continent that has half of the world's resources, but yet still at the bottom of the totem pole. That is crazy, people. That is crazy. And these people are so brave. They said we don't even gotta colonize these people no more. We just gonna we don't have to micromanage. We could just neo-colonialize now, right? We don't have to be on top of them. We could rule them from a distance. We're gonna put who we want in office. Every single president that's in that place, outside of those that's waking up, every single president. And even the ones that's president, they have been awoken while in those positions. But when they was being selected or voted upon, these colonizers are the ones that gave the green light and says, yeah, I like him, let him be the president. Because they're going to follow and, like I said, promote foreign policies and interests. This is crazy. Let us continue. Prior to the decolonizing in 1957, African economic exploitation has given below. And this is 1957. We're not even going to talk about 2024 with all of these Teslas, all these phones that got, that got the uranium batteries, right? The plutonium and all of that. We're not even going to talk about that. We're just going to keep it right here in the minute level, right? 1957, Great Britain, tin ore and concentrates, 19%, iron, 29%, manganese, 80%, copper, 46%, the Batuex, 47%, chrome ore, 50%, asbestos, 66%, colobite, 82%, autonomy, 91%. That's just for Britain in 1957. Let's move over to France. Cotton, 32%, iron, 36%, zinc, 51%, lead, 85%. I don't know how to say that. Phosphide, I don't know, 100%. Germany, copper, 8%, iron, 10%, manganese, 20%, lead, 12%, chrome, 22%. And I can't say that word. Phosphorite, you guys know what it is. 71%, people. 71%. This is one continent taking care of these countries by a large amount. You got 19, 29, 80, 46, 47, 50, 66, 82, 91. You add them up together, what does that equal to? That's double, that's more than 100%. You get 32, 36, 51, 85, 100%. Come on, people. Yo. This is from the International Journal of History and Philosophical Research, okay? Such exploitations were not the only way of colonial economic exploitation by colonial powers exploiting Africa by several ways. Those were beggar descriptions. As follows: Africa was totally unable to grow capital, technologies, experts and stand of management to run new independent states. The agents of the former imperialist countries, the World Banks, the IMF, and the IFIC had taken this opportunity apparently to bound Africa in this neo-colonial iron certain, right? The WB and the IMF are lending loans to African states with hard terms and conditions. Debt recipients, countries have to pay back with interest that was way more than they had accepted from these agents. Remember what I told you? What you see going on in Africa is happening here in America, and there's a reason behind it. Bantu Princess, please give me a reminder for the end of the presentation. You remind me so I can tell you why they are doing that here in America. Let us continue. The WB and the IBF are letting loans. Oh, I said that already. Because of lack of capital technologies. Oh, I said that too. The reality is African states have no options to be free from the imperialistic certainty. The World Bank is lending loans to more than 140 countries in the world. Among the countries, 41 African states are the most debt recipients countries in the world. These states have the lowest per capita income and life expectancies without South Africa and Botswana. The Harvard scholar, the Gurakai Chinaku, excluded African neocolonialism in global research. He said Africa's second liberation war is continuing against neocolonialism. He explained on his research papers. The World Bank estimate that a staggering 65% of sub-Saharan African best arable land is still controlled by white settlers and multinational corporations. 65% of the Holy Land is run by outsiders. The Holy Land has been hijacked, has been overtaken, and you know when they come, the first thing they do when they come to take over, they bring forth their ideologies and their religion. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and you guys don't know, but I'm the one that's going to let you know. We are going to rise. We are going to fight. We are going to put an end to the colonial and the European genocide. Okay? Okay? It says the World Bank also estimated that much as 70% of the net wealth in sub-Saharan Africa is owned by non-indigenous Africans or foreigners. Nowhere is this racial disparity more accurate than an African richest nation. South Africa is the continent's most powerful nation. However, this is how you know that this is the Holy Land. However, they're telling you the most powerfulest place in Africa is sub-Sahara. I wonder why. Shall we pull out the Bible and see what the creators told Abram? That look this way, I'm gonna give you a great land. Anyway, filled with milk and honey. Anyway, they don't hear me though. Let us continue. South Africa is the continent's most powerful nation. However, it is the continent's most economically colonized nation. The American Investment Bank, Citigroups, recently ranked South Africa as the world's richest country in terms of mineral reserves. Listen carefully, worth an estimate of $2.5 trillion. That's just in South Africa. $2.5 trillion. We're not even going to talk about Congo. We're not even talking about Congo, just South Africa. We're not even going to talk about Egypt. We're not even going to talk about Benin. We're not even going to talk about these other areas. All right, let me continue. It says South African whites and Western foreigners own a staggering 80% of this wealth. So $2.5 trillion and 80% of that wealth is owned by people that never was from that land. That is crazy. This is the real account of neocolonialism in Africa. This is neocolonialism right before you. These people are racking bread. They don't even have to be there. Neo is running the show from a distance. I don't have to micromanage you. Yo. Let's go. Let's read. It says, from the colonial period, economic drains became an endless process in Africa. Nationalists and anti-colonialist historians and scholars have claimed that colonial economic drains is responsible for the underdevelopment of the Africa. Okay? In the 1960s, the British businessmen had invested 160 million pounds in Africa, and they earned 15% of profit by they drained all the profits to England. In 1949, they earned 6.7 million pounds from gold trades, and in the following year, they drained 3 million pounds to England. In 1958, German central banks had invested an adequate amount of the Dutch mark to 100 African companies by the central bank conditions where they would transfer all profits to Germany. After the decolonization, the African leaders had tried to stop the drain, but the donor groups gave clear-cut threats, people, to the African state authority. They declared if the anti-drain economic acts were active, we will be totally unable to invest any amount of dollars in Africa. Moreover, the best way to drain the economy from development or underdevelopment countries are draining of raw material to imperialist countries. A research on African economic published on the 25th of May 2015, the Global Research where had explained. Okay? A rough diamond mine, listen, I had to put this up there. A rough diamond mine in Africa costs about $40 per carat. And a diamond cut and polished in Europe increased to $400 per carat. They put an extra 100%. The same stone fetch around 900 per carat when it reaches the consumer. Another example is Zimbabwe, which is known for the producing in its best quality tobacco in the world, and last year earned 650 million from the sale of raw tobacco. Industry experts illustrate how Zimbabwe could have earned $66.5 billion instead of 650 million if they had processed the crops into cigarettes rather than exporting the tobacco as raw goods. Finally, Nigeria is said to sell its crude oil for a measly $9 a barrel, only then to import refined gasoline, diesel, and the kerosene made from his own oil resources from hundreds of dollars per barrel. So these niggas is taking your oil for $9 and sending it back to you. You don't even know what they doing with it when it goes up there. And they selling it back to you for the hundreds. Yo, when I tell you that these people are wicked, no. Let me see if I can bang the gavel on these heathens. Oh, I can't bang the gavel. These people is lucky. Hold on. Nah, I gotta bang the gavel. I gotta bang the gavel. We gotta bang the gavel. The gavel gotta get banged on. Oh, y'all crazy? $9 a barrel? Yo, nah. Ah, now political manipulation. Now let me give you guys a rundown of this political manipulation. Why is it showing me this? Okay. Now, the political manipulation is simple. Like I told you before, they put their people in there, right? They're teaching the people that's in power to only focus in on themselves and their family members or their loved ones, right? They're not aiding these individuals. They're not telling them how to help the people. They're literally westernizing the people in power in the Holy Land, in Africa right now as we speak. They're being colonialized. All of this is intentional. This is what you call the manipulation of political manipulation of the people. And they're using their military might. They're using their threats, as you seen, as I was reading. They're using these things, people. They're taking advantage of the land, people. And they're doing all of this on our expense, even here in America. When we buy the Teslas and we buy these phones and we buy these things, we're putting money in their pockets, and they're taking advantage of the children and the people that's literally going into work to make sure that you guys get this raw material, man. Yeah, this joint is crazy. Cultural influence and destruction of African culture. Now, with neocolonialism, like I said, they're never going to just walk away. They got to make sure they leave their imprint for everybody to follow. And I'm going to show you how we're following this. I'm going to show you how we're following this. And after when I finish reading this, I don't want nobody complaining. I'm going to show you again that monotheism comes from Europeans. I'm going to show you. This is not me. This is straight from them. This is their writers. Let me read this. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, I can. Okay. The effects of colonial aggression on African culture. The effect of colonial aggression on African culture. Of all the areas in the world that scholars have claimed to be adversely affected by colonialism. Africa is probably the most mentionable. Professor Maswood Actener had written in his introduction to Musing Post-Colonials. Okay, it is not the official departure of the colonial machine by default has engineered the agriculture of a new world order. Rather, while the colonies do not exist anymore, of course, we take the colonies as implying a country under direct administrative set up or structured of governance of another more powerful country. Colonialism happens to continue about without its more obvious signs in the expense age of imperialism of the 19th century. Listen carefully. Scholars have argued that the European colonization in Africa has led to the I can't say the word elimination of various cultures. The elimination. So your culture has been eliminated, people. Has been eliminated. The elimination of your culture. Okay, worldviews. Okay, and the epistemologies. These arguably has led to uneven development and further informational forms of social controls having to do with culture and imperialism. A variety of factors, scholars argue, led to the elimination of cultures, worldview, and the epistemologies such as the decolonization, replacing native African languages with European ones, the divulging autonomy that are not explicit and individualistic. Professor Masswood has mentioned in the same introduction that the colonized society had their own set of internal agendas and force that continues to interact with the modified the direct response to the colonial insurgent. The retreat of the British after the Second World War, the occasion the start of political independence for its colonies, But colonialism was not to end with the end of colonial occupation. The obvious signs began to disappear, but the population did not really get that freedom as colonial encounters impact powerfully on politics, literature, and cultures of the non-West. Another scholar, I don't know these people's names, so I'm going to skip it. Extensively interactive regimes and heavy content of identity deformation, misrecognition, loss of self-esteem, and individuals and social doubts and self-sufficiency. Therefore, all imperialism will always already be a culture. Okay? Okay? The sociologists bring out the multifaceted nature of culture when he I don't know how to say all these words. Let's continue. Many of today's academics that employ the terms of quote or cultural imperialism are heavily informed by the works of the Foucault, Derrida said, and other post-structural and post-colonial terrorists within the realms of post-colonial discourse. Cultural imperialism can be seen as a cultural legacy of colonialism or forms of social actions contributing to the continuation of Western hegemony to some outside of the realm of this discourse. The term is critiqued as being unclear, unfazed, and or contrary in nature. Indeed, the significant fact about African cultural history is the convergence upon the indigenous traditions of the two external influences, the Arab and the European Christian, to which the continent has been exposed for over a millennium. So they're basically letting you know that even though they're gone, their presence will always remain there. They will not let it go. Even the people that's in the land are still colonized because the creators is the only one that's going to wake you up. But you know why a lot of our people is asleep? Because a lot of our people is still under the foundation of either two religions, the Islamic State or the Christian Western state. Okay, the Arabs and the Western Europeans. Let us continue. Okay, cool. Where was I? It says lifestyle with these traditions has been assimilated and to a large extent indigenized on the continent. The observation provides a broader perspective on the phenomenon of the westernization in Africa, an observation made as early as the late 19th century by the great African cultural theorist Edward Walnut Biden. Okay, and summed up in the late 20th century by Ali Mazrou as the triple heritage. The Professor Dare Oriliwu and the effects of the Western civilization culture on Africa. He mentioned so notable effects on African culture as follows: family/social relationships, extended family giving way to nuclear families. Traditional African family values breakdowns were very rapidly. Extended family that was wonderful instrument like a social verge, social security in our community has given way to nuclear family. Little wonder that there is no more respect for age, no more respect for values that held sacred in Africa. Younger ones now find it very difficult to greet the elderly ones. Individualism. We now have children of single parents, a phenomenon that is undeniable. Okay, with America, people no longer communalize. Nobody wants to be anybody's brother's keeper. Building patterns. The way we build now is different from the way it was. We no longer take it into the congonize our own particular in the building process. We now build houses without ventilations. Okay, the urbanization, it leads to the rural exodus of the the displacement of large segments of the population. Corruption. Western civilizations has promoted corruption in Africa. Leaders in Africa now look up the European and American as safe havens for loot funding. It is a consequence of Western civilization. Let us continue. I had to screenshot this one, right? I had to screen it. It says language proficiency in our language is declining in Africa because we are compelled to embrace Western cultures and civilization as Western language. Western language has created a dichotomy between an elite and a mass of our people who still cannot do business with the foreign language. It caused the alienation for people who cannot speak English or French. Language is a vehicle of culture. We are in a very serious problem. Okay, Professor Buhanawa project on the local language as a basic tool of teaching the Nigeria was aborted because of the nature of our country. We must define and design meanings of helping Africa out of this language cultural lagoon. Okay? Christianity. Oh, you know they got to put that up there for you. Check it out. It says the impact of Christianity has to be considered, for this has been the most important single factor in the process of westernizing in Africa. Western education involved the literacy and the mastery of European language became the condition for the entry into the modern sector. For most of the colonial period, education was in the hands of Christian missions who sought not only to convert Africans, but to also inculcate Western values. Christians challenge traditional belief systems and promote the diffusion of new ideologies and modes of life. In particular, it sought to impose the monogamy and the nuclear family as a norm. Monogamy. Whether it's having one wife, believing in one God. I've been telling you this. This is from them. This is not our culture. We was designed to have multiple wives. We knew we had multiple gods. We didn't give praise to just one person. That one person is Lucifer. When they took the Biblos was converted into a Freemasonry book. That's why you see rituals in there. That's why you see sacrifices in there. And when you go down the rabbit hole, you will see that these are the same thing that the Freemasons practice till this very day. The Freemasons uphold Solomon. Okay? A lot of you guys are not, you know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys are not doing readings. A lot of you guys are just sitting here and waiting to be enlightened by individuals. You must enlighten yourself. You emancipate yourself from mental slavery. I can't be the ones to do it. Nobody else can be the ones to do it. You got to do it. You got to realize, people. You got to realize, people, that the information that you have received and has been given unto you by the enemy. Okay, everything that they have been giving us has been a lie, has been corrupted, has not been accurate, has been misleading us, has been misguiding us, has been keeping us detached from our creators. Why isn't it Sunini talking to us? We've been keeping the laws. We've been doing right. We've been doing everything. Why isn't they talking to us? Why? Why? Nobody want to ask those questions. I'm going to ask it for you. Why? Ask yourself these questions. Why haven't you moved a single mountain? Why? Go ahead and keep listening. Oh, you know, is the time's going to come where we're going to, that's what they want you to believe. That's what they want you to believe. The word said, if you hearken unto me, you will be on high. We've been hearkening on. Why aren't we on high? So now we're told to do this and we're going to be on high. But now you're telling me that, yeah, you got to do this and just sit back and wait. Something is not adding up. Something is not adding up. So, but by default, when things are not adding up, wherever we getting these resources from, we got to hold it accountable. Like I tell you guys all the time, the big blows is not the end all be all when it comes to our culture. Okay? Because the big blows goes hand in hand with their religious infrastructure. Everything that you guys are being taught, everything that you guys are studying and picking up and bringing forth, a lot of it is pure lies and madness to deceive the people. Like I told you before, even when it comes to the understanding of voodoo, who will be the only ones to tell you voodoo is bad? Could it be the ones that got their ass whooped by the very voodoo itself? Huh? Huh? Could it be? Because for me, coming from a household of individuals that have done that, I know for a fact that what they're telling you is not accurate. Now, can you take something righteous and do evil with it? Absolutely. That's anything. But the whole concept of it being, oh, that's evil, that's black magic. Who told you that? Who's telling you this? The same people that told you to eat bread and drink blood? Do you know that the whole Christian rituals, the whole Levitical rituals that's going into the book of Leviticus go side by side with what goes on in voodoo? The sacrifices of animals, going inside of the temple, doing this, doing that. It's the same thing. But they want you to follow what they want you to follow and not tapping into what you are born with. Now, you telling me that I must discredit African culture to uphold European philosophy. And we're assuming that this is ours. We don't have the actual facts. I gotta show my face here. Hold on, son. We gotta talk. I gotta talk. We are assuming that the information that's given unto us is accurate. We are assuming. We don't have actual facts. We are assuming. But an actual fact is what we see these brothers and sisters is doing is African culture. And maybe while we so focusing on discrediting that and trying to follow what the Europeans gave us, maybe we need to start tapping into the other side and see what happens. What you got to lose? Nigga, you are a slave. You are poor. You are at the bottom of the bottom. You are the tail. You not the head. What you got to lose? Oh, you think you gonna go to hell? You really think that's what it is? I'm gonna give you a breakdown of what hell is. Don't you notice that the hell story is only coming from the three religions that got black people under control? Don't you notice that the hell story is only in Islam, Christianity, and Judaism? Why isn't it? Why is these conversations is not in other cultures? The same three cultures that had prominent control over slaves, that had their hand invested into slavery, are now telling us that if we do certain things, this is what's going to happen to us. Mind you, when these people was doing it, I'm sure they wasn't thinking about that. I'm sure they wasn't thinking about that. A lot of you guys is too emotionally invested, bro. Too many of our people has been religiously, your foundation is under the guidelines of religion. The creators will not talk to you as long as you under the guidelines of religion. If you really trying to find yourself, I'm not gonna discredit anything African. Bring it to the table. I'm not doing that. You know why? Because Leopold said that he was gonna make sure that everything that was of black excellence was evil, was viewed as evil, and the missionaries was gonna promote that. And it was gonna get rid of the elders who could have gave us true wisdom and understanding. They was gonna get rid of them and start feeding this ideology to the children. Hence, 19th century, the 19th century till now, 18th century to the 19th century was 1800 to 1900. You telling me the people that's alive now, these are the children that was reprogrammed. These are the children. You think people in the Holy Land you think people in the Holy Land is really sitting on 100% truth? No. No, we're not. We're not. Because if we was, the creators would have did something already. It's not. It's not. And the winking of the winkiness of the ignorance is coming to an end. Because now we're opening certain books, we're diving into these records, we're reading certain things, and yet we're still holding the enemy's teachings to high regards. How are we doing this? And we're claiming to be African. We're claiming to be African. If we're claiming to be African, as African people, isn't it our due diligence, especially the slaves that's been scattered abroad, isn't it our due diligence to seek that knowledge? Isn't it your job to go through doors, sit down with the people, speak to the people? Stop reading freaking books. Stop reading books that was put together by the enemy. We need to also speak to the people. Speak to the people. I spoke to my mother. My grandmother was what you'll call a voodoo prince, a priestess. And my grandmother never did an evil thing on her day in her life. So were you telling me my grandmother's evil? I know a lot of brothers and sisters who does that. Does that mean it's evil? No, we also know how to use it for wrongdoings as well. Now, those that's using it for wrongdoings, you will be penalized for that. But we're not going to discredit African culture anymore. Not on this podcast, not on this channel. We embracing and we giving praise to everything that's African. I don't care where it's at. As long as not Islam, Christianity, Judaism, I'm tapping in. Why? Because we need answers. The slaves are not in a position to dictate and determine what they're going to accept and not accept. My nigga, you got no understanding of who you are. You can't trace your lineage back to Adam. You can't trace your lineage back to Akobi. You can't. This is just us assuming. We hoping that this is facts. Now, I'm not going to discredit the word because the word, this is all we have at the moment. But I'm not gonna allow the word, I'm not gonna allow people, teachers, whoever you want to call yourself, to tell me to only focus on here when there's a broad world of my people with whole different understanding and cultures that I don't have no understanding of. But meanwhile, we are here in America celebrating everything westernized. 4th of July, you not in the house, but I'm sure you eating a hamburger though. I'm sure you eating a hamburger though. You niggas is not hiding under the cave somewhere and refuse to hear the fireworks. I don't want no participation in it. Your mother's doing it, your father's doing it, everybody's doing it. But there's no complaints there. There's no complaints there. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that Thanksgiving come, you may not participate like how you used to, but you still gonna get yourself a plate though. Whether people is there or not, you're gonna get yourself a plate though. Once you eat something, you know you participating in something, right? But we don't say nothing though. We don't say nothing though. But when it comes to us participating in something that is ours, that we can honestly claim, like, yo, this is mine. Yo, this is what our people really was doing. Wow. Y'all dancing mad fast. Let me see how y'all do that. Let me see how y'all do that. You guys are over here trying to mix y'all trying to mix European ideologies, words and phrases, and y'all try to mix it with African culture, and then telling us that this is what it is. But then when an African man want to tap into his African culture, you're saying that it's evil and wicked. Y'all gotta make it make sense. You can't pick and choose. You can't pick and choose. It sounds like you guys are being lukewarm. You can't pick and choose. It's either gonna be hot or cold. Listen, I'm gonna be where it's hot. I'm gonna be where it's hot. I'm gonna stand with the creators. I'm not trying to mix the two. I spent years uncovering and following the ways of these religious powers, and look where it got us, bro. My whole entire community is divided. My people is divided. People in the truth is divided. Niggas is too emotional, bro. We are in a fight for our lives, and we over here worrying about whose doctrine is right. Nah, I can't follow that because you're not saying what am I saying that you don't understand? Am I saying something that's going against your religious foundation? So are you a righteous person or you're a religious person? Are you trying to find the truth? Are you trying to set yourself free? Or are you trying to just follow whatever seems suited and normal for you that makes you feel good? The creators is open up our eyes for a reason. They're not opening our eyes just to be content and be like, look, man, yeah, man, Sunini's doing his numbers. Okay, yeah, he's doing his numbers, but what are we doing with ours? What are we doing with our precious times? We getting on the phone, we talking about other people, we talking about this and all of that. Where's the connections? We got a whole nationality of people taking full advantage of your land, and you sitting here worrying about what I believe in. You worrying about what I'm bringing forth, what we talking about. This is what you're worrying about? These are the things that you're worrying about. When we got a bunch of people, 90% of our wealth is in their hands, and you worrying about what I'm bringing forth? And mind you, the people that taking our wealth are also the people that gave us the Biblos and told us, yeah, read that. Deuteronomy chapter 28, that's you. Okay, cool, granted, that is us. Now what else? Keep the commandments and you shall live. We've been keeping the commandments and niggas is still dying. I got the elder who just passed away. Been keeping the laws, been doing all that. Gone. Wife is widow. Now the wife is a widow. Gone. Keeping the commands. There's another brother keeping the command. Damn, we doing all of that. We can't even live to see 100. Sheesh, what's going on? Something is not adding up. So if it's not adding up, we got to do the job. We got to fix it. We got to find it. Especially those that got the energy to. We can't just be sitting on our asses and keep reading and doing this and doing this. Listen, I done read the Bible front and back so many times, I don't even need to read it no more. I'm over here reading other books. This is what I'm looking into. Where's my other book? I'm looking into astrology. I'm tapping into everything, bro. And when I bring these books back, I'm gonna go back to the library, and then I'm gonna tap into my African culture. And the authors that I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to be looking for the African people. I'm not looking for Europeans to give me African culture. Make that make sense. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Huh? Let us continue, man. Come on, man. It's not, and you know what I'm saying? And it's not like it's not like I'm trying to mislead our people. I'm trying to have people to understand that, yo, bro, a lot of things are not adding up, bro. A lot of things is not adding up. When I hear the 12 tribes and the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, and I'm hearing all of that, and I'm speaking to people in the land, I know, no, there was only one king. The king was this name, that name. No, we didn't have tribes. We have clans. No. So it's like, okay, so where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? What I'm saying is we have a job to do, bro. We got a job to do. We're young, we're vibrant. The creators is opening our eyes. It's not for us to sit here and still do what the Hebrews is doing. It's not us to do what the Christians is doing, what the Catholics is doing. I'm not into none of that, bro. And when I see stuff like that, I gracefully bow out. I say, oh, that sounds like religion again. Sound like I'm going to another door of Richard Shepherd. I'm not about to go into another GOCC door. I'm not about to go into another Hebrew Israelite congregation and conversation. I'm not going through that. I'm not going through that. Nah. Because I know what that thing does to the people. And I see it, and I see it's happening again. And when I see that, I gracefully bow out, because this is not my calling. I wasn't called to continue the foolish westernized teachings that was forced upon us and forced upon my land. Meanwhile, my whole land is being hijacked and taken over, where we getting $9 for a goddamn barrel, and we paying hundreds to get that same barrel we gave to these niggas to come back to fill up our cars so we can drive around and look like Western niggas. And y'all get mad at me because I can see that. That's why your Savior said, he that got an eyes to see, let him see. See, I've been seeing, and I don't close my eyes now. I don't say, oh yeah, look, yeah, we got it. Soon as he got us. Yeah. And then I close my eyes, and then I sit back and I just watch. And I just watch. When the creators is waking up the warriors. Look at the brother that's in the land right now waking up saying, yo, y'all niggas gotta leave. That's not a coincidence. And ask those same people what's their religious faith. Ask these people what's their foundation. They keeping the laws, they doing that? I don't know. But I know, what I do know is the works is being done on their end. The fire is being put on their end. The war is about to happen. While we over here doing the yapping. When we supposed to be over there being called the captain, the El Capitan. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Huh? I ain't listening to none of that. And I advise anybody that's a part of this movement, you part of this Repent or Die podcast, bro, we out here trying to find truth, bro. Ain't nobody's gonna hold us down. Religion is not tying us down. We're not under the bounds of Satan no more, bro. I'm kicking that off. Kick these things off your foot, bro. Kick it off. Remove it. Understand the interjections that these people are putting within our works to mislead and deceive us, bro. Realize that. The name Solomon is I forgot the God's names. Damn. Solomon. All of them it means on, means light, turn on. How is that a coincidence? Who's to tell you that Solomon was the name? Matter of fact, my big bro he told me what the name was. I forgot. I be forgetting. My fire be burning in me. I be forgetting. Because it's like every day we finding something new, bro. Every day it's another, like, damn, son. My son really got something. Oh my geez. That's me every day. Every day. Every day. I'm like, damn, another one. But I know that the creators is doing that intentionally, bro. And it's intentional because our job is to not just sit still. We sitting still too much, man. They killed Bob Marley because Bob Marley was telling the people, we got to stand up. We got to fight. We got to unite. We must emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Oh, hold on. This man talking too much. Remove him. Come on. Wake up, people. Wake up. Project 2025 is around the corner. By 2030, they about to have a whole new infrastructure here in America. You niggas better wake up. You keep playing and keep sitting here waiting, thinking something gonna crack from the sky or something miraculously gonna happen. No, the word says you need to pack your ass up, get ready to go to the land, start building with the land, start building with the people. You gotta go there. I'm making my business. I gotta go there. Stacking up my bread. I'm doing what I gotta do. I gotta take a trip out there. I'm not gonna give writings of other people to give me an understanding of something that I need to see with my own two eyes. Especially if it's coming from Europeans. When the word tells you, you of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. For you was a liar and a murderer and abideth not in truth. These niggas is telling you they don't abide in truth, but yeah, we telling me that what these people is presenting to us is truth. Ah, my G. Let me continue. Let me continue, man. It says the cultural alteration provoked by the pressures of colonial rule and the missionaries in all and phases of life and preserve enough to qualify as the sign of a new cultural cope in Africa. This is more noticeable in the area of science technology on Africa experiences and consciousness. Modern medicine has largely taken precedence over traditional methods in matter of health, right? So now we're using Western medicines. Things that we used to get the herbs from outside. Now we waiting for the Europeans to come bring us Tylenol and Pepto-Bismol and talking about take that. And you wonder why these children looking like that. You wonder why these children is being paralyzed. You wonder how Ebola got over there. You wondering why? Because you still want to operate and believe and trust on the enemy. Fire and brimstones to every single one of you niggas. Huh? Where was I? I'm hot right now. Okay? It says the trend of cultural westernization of Africa has become more preservist and prevalent, such that Western civilization has taken precedence over African values and cultures, and the latter is regarded as inferior to the former. As with other societies and cultures in the so-called third world, the impact of Western civilization on Africa has occasioned and discontinuously in forms of life throughout the continent. This has led to a cultural delusion, okay, that often presents itself as a real dilemma in concrete, real life situations. In other words, the African experience of moderate and fraudulent with tension at every level of the communal and social settings. This post-independent Africa is confronted with how to have a true identity, a new culture that is African in nature, the effect of Western civilization, but from the perspective of recent culture expansion of the West, the African, instead of harping on the guilt of the colonizers, should take positive and confident steps towards a new era by developing self-respect and by increasing their productivity. You know what I'm saying, man. Listen, I'm so hot. The productivity, okay? Come on, man. This is colored people writing this. Some of these people not even colored, and they telling you what the problem is, and yet you niggas want to sleep. You want to sleep. Nobody want to, in all reality, bro, we ain't trying to hear none of that no more, bro. I'm not trying to hear none of that, bro. And this is no disrespect to anybody that's doing their work. Shout out to you. Do what you do. But real talk over here, man, we ain't trying to hear none of that. Why? Because it's too much lies, too much deceptions, too much confusion, too much division. How can we, slaves, gonna then determine who we interact with? My nigga, you don't have no power. The word says the people that has no power has to conform to the power structures, bro. I'm not doing that no more. How are we calling on the Creator's names, but yet we still want to walk in the ways of the heathens? And we're only using the heathens' records as truth. The true word. We're using the heathens' records as truth to give us our identification on who we are. And we know that this works was plagiarized. We know that King James got the best writers to publicize and put things together to give us this information to mislead us. We know these things, bro. This nigga King James wrote a demonic book, bro. And we using this as the end all be all for us? Nah, I can't be this naive, man. I'm from outside, bro. I come from, listen, I don't come from where you guys come from. I wasn't raised in the church, man. I was raised from, you guys was raised in the church. I was raised to dodge the hearse. You heard? We was dodging the hearse out here. We was trying to survive. We trying to live. You understand me? You understand what I'm saying to you? Do you understand what I'm saying? We was dodging the hearse. You heard? I don't come from where you come from. The way I see things, you're not gonna see it. You gotta be from it to understand what I'm saying. That's like the Savior said, why you don't understand my speech? You know why the Pharisees couldn't understand the Savior? Because the Pharisees wasn't walking and wasn't going through what the Savior was going through. They wasn't in line, they wasn't in the streets, they wasn't in the hood, they wasn't in the bottom of the totem pole. The Savior is walking around seeing the people looking disgusted while the Pharisees is looking for an opportunity to exploit. It's a big difference. We don't want to hear none of that, bro. The next conversation is, yo, this is what we trying to do, bro. We trying to do this with the land. We trying to armor up. We trying to train. We trying to get boxing lessons, disarm. These are the things that our people should be learning. No, we're not doing that. Sit back. Sit back. Sunini got us. Sunini got us. Only Sunini. So Sunini got to do everything. We just go, look, all we got to do is keep the law. And Sunini got everything. Yeah, show me that. Show me where Abram was just sitting down. Show me where Moses was just sitting down. Show me where your Savior was just sitting down, just chilling. Show it. When you show me that, I'll follow your suit. Heck is wrong with y'all, man? How am I, like my sister says, she in the plantation right now, man. Talk that talk, sis. I got my moderators inside, man. We outside, you heard? They understand what I'm saying. I'm not, like I said, the real ones know what I'm talking about. You got to come from where I come from to understand what I'm saying. If you have doubts in what I'm saying, that means you don't come from where I come from. That means you don't want the same thing. See, I want redemption, bro. You think I'm reading something like this and these niggas got 90% ownership or something of a land that's not theirs? Meanwhile, I'm trying to get that back. You over here worried about what I believe in? Are you crazy? This is what religion is doing. Religion is division, spiritual prison to lead your ass in jail. And from jail, you go straight to hell. I'm trying to connect, bro. I want Mama Love to come talk to me every day. I want to see their physical beings, bro. I want to see their physical presence. I'm not listening to that nonsense that these people think, they're in the spirit. That's BS, man. You telling me the creators is a spirit, they demons? Y'all niggas is not paying attention? You don't understand the term spirits? You know why they put spirits in there, right? So when we was created, let me I'm sorry, guys. I gotta show my face again because now I'm hot right now. I'm hot. I'm hot. When the create when you was created, right? After you was put together, your nose, your eyes, your lips, whatever, all that was created. What was put inside of you? Was it a soul or was it a spirit? Was it a soul or was it a spirit? Because if it's a soul, then why the word says don't fear the man that could kill the body, but fear the man that could kill the body and judge the soul. So if we was created and we had no life in us, then what was the life put inside of us? Was it a spirit or was it a soul? But you guys are too naive, can't see because your head is so caught up into religion, you thinking it was a spirit that's placed upon you. The spirit of life, my nigga, please. That was the soul was put inside of you. Anything that the creators created has a soul, the solar universe. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Huh? Where this ideology of spirit comes from? It's coming from these niggas. Remember, they took the book and made the book into a Freemason book. Remember, King James created a demonic Bible, a demonic book before he put his people together to create the Biblos. You think that King James was like, yo, make sure y'all add spirits in there, please. Put the spirit. Tell people that they got to be in the spirit. The spirit of what, bro? So it's a spirit or a soul. Which one is it? The spirit of what? Mama love is not a spirit, bro. Your creator is not a spirit, bro. It's a power. You understand me? A power that was put inside of you. That's how you're able to walk and talk and lift up big ass stuff. Huh? But you allow this religion nonsense to tell you gotta be in the spirit, people. The spirit. Spirit of what? So which one is it? Is it the spirit or the soul? Which one? Because when you look at the thing, you was taken from the soil. The soil. When you hear the name Sunini, oh my Jesus, all of these things is right in front of you, but people are going to say that I'm wilding. They're going to say, no, Junior, that's not what you say. That's not what it means, my brother. That's not what it means. What does it mean then? What does it mean? Please edify me. Give me give me the westernized European revelation. Please tell me. Listen, I tell you guys, I want you guys to really think about what you're saying, right? Let's think about it. Sunini, Nanini. We know Nini is the name. So why would Sunini why would Nini be told two times? That doesn't make sense. And why one is Sunini and the other one is Nanini? And then now that I'm doing my research, now it makes sense. You know why these people are creating all of these narratives, trying to make you seem and make you believe that Nanini, like Nana, is wrong and evil is a deep because they don't want you to tap into it. Similar to why they don't want you to tap into voodoo. They told you voodoo was wrong. Why? I don't think it was wrong when them Haitians put it together and whooped these European asses. You know French was the powerfulest army at that time. The most powerfulest army at that time. And a whole bunch of slaves took that whole regime down, my nigga. To fast forward to today, these people telling you that it's wrong. And now we've been following the ways of these people. Listen, Sonia Messi got shot in the face in the name of Jesus, my nigga. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Ain't no power in these names. Only power is the name of Sunini Nanini. And guess what? Sunini Nanini also created voodoo. He created all things on this earth. Yeah. Don't listen to what these heathens is telling you. Don't listen to what these Europeans is telling you. Denounce the European. Denounce the European. No disrespect to the Europeans, but I don't follow the ways of the European. I'm not a fucking European. We warriors. You are made in their likeness and their image. How dare you? How dare you let other people tell you what you was born with? This is in our DNA. Warrior. Got me tight, man. Let us continue. I'm gonna play some videos for you now. Because it could cool me down. Let's watch some videos, shall we? Oh, damn. Hold on. I gotta share my screen with you guys. I forgot about this. Dudes is out here bugging, man. The niggas done lost their mind, bro. Man, them too, y'all too tied into religion, bro. Y'all gotta let that thing go, fam. My people out here dying and we over here worrying about, you know what? I'm gonna hold my peace, man. Let me play this for y'all, man. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Y'all can't hear it.
And what is going on that makes that revolution, that coup as we see it in Niger, a different story than we're seeing?
The performance that you're talking about is the performance of what Nigerian minerals are doing to French education, to French healthcare, to French infrastructure. You tell me, why is it that 95% of Nigerian uranium is powering over 30% of France, while over 70% of Nigerians have no electricity? How is that okay? How is even President Bazoum proud of himself with that fact? There is no development in Niamey.
You say y'all can't hear it? Hold on. What the heck is going on? Oh, wait. So y'all can hear it? When it was playing, y'all could hear it? I see the thumbs up. All right, good. All right, so let me run this back one more again. I'm gonna run it back from the beginning.
I was in Niamey a few years ago when we had the AU.
Let's take Niger for a moment. President Mohamed Bazoum is a popular president in the West. You know, the IMF liked him, the World Bank liked him, the United States liked him, France seemed to like him. I would like our listeners to understand the gap in the popularity of someone like President Bazoum and performance, and what is going on that makes that revolution, that coup as we see it in Niger, a different story than we're seeing.
The performance that you're talking about is the performance of what Nigerian minerals are doing to French education, to French healthcare, to French infrastructure. You tell me, why is it that 95% of Nigerian uranium is powering over 30% of France.
It's a lot more than that, people.
70% of Nigerians have no electricity. How is that okay? How is even President Bazoum proud of himself with that fact? There is no development in Niamey. I was in Niamey a few years ago when we had the AU summit. It was pitiful to see the level of underdevelopment that Niger has. There is no development in Niger. Let's make no mistake about it. Niger is the second poorest country in Africa, in the world, in fact. So how can President Bazoum be proud of himself? What development is he talking about? You're talking about developing France? There is no development in Niger, one of the poorest countries on earth. And of course, IMF would love them. World Bank would love them. France would love him because he is allowing the pilferage, the exploitation to continue. And that's why the people are rising up to say, if you can't stand up to the bullies and tell them that the exploitation can no longer continue, and look President Macron in the face and say, President Macron, how is it okay that my money, my bank reserves, my natural resources are funding French education, are funding French healthcare, are funding French infrastructure? How is that okay, President Macron? Answer us. Africans in Niger, they want to know. So when you tell me that he is favored by the West, it makes sense. But he's definitely not favored by the people because there is no development. Let's be serious here. Let's stop pushing lies about what's happening. They know the exploitation is happening. It's happening in Niger. It's happening in Burkina Faso. It's happening in Mali. It's happening in every African country. Let's make no mistake about this. We're sick and tired of giving up our lunch to Western nations. African children, they need to eat too. African children need to go to school. African children need good healthcare systems. Behind all that abuse, we need to let the Western world know that there are millions of African children who are going hungry, millions of African children who are dying, millions of women, African women who are dying giving birth to another life, millions of African youth who are unemployed, all because the Western world is continuing with the agenda of exploitation, and exploitation of the African continent. That era is over. Well, and we're coming together as Africans and saying, enough is enough. This has got to stop.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see, you gotta be thinking that I be ranting. Nah, this is me connecting with my land. This is me connecting with my people, bro. I was never a Euro. Ain't no Euro stepping over here, pimp. Enough is enough. This is what neocolonialism is doing to your land. Let's watch the next video. Let's watch the next video.
This is one of the thousands of unregulated, unmonitored
This is
mines
children
in the DRC.
This is children, people. Children working day in, day out so you guys can get your cell phones on. So you guys can drive your Tesla and all of these things that take batteries. These are the children that's doing it. Look at the living conditions.
It's crawling with children working like modern-day slaves. A 12-hour-long day of punishing work may earn them the equivalent of £1. Although one of the poorest countries on earth, DRC is rich in minerals. But a history of brutal colonial exploitation looks like being repeated now in 2017. Much of it's mined by hand with rudimentary tools in harsh, potentially hazardous conditions. And wretched whether or not, the rush is on for a mineral the DRC has in great abundance, cobalt, and it's fast becoming more precious than gold. It's a critical ingredient in lithium-ion batteries which power smartphones and laptops.
Your smartphone and your laptop.
An army of children are at the heart of the mining production. Wearing no shoes and in the most wretched conditions, Dorsan is ordered to retrieve the sack he's forgotten. There's an urgency now. The rains make this dangerous work even more risky, and Dorsan's told in no uncertain terms he risks a beating if he messes up again. Dorsan, with Richard beside him, have worked all day. They're 8 and 11 years old.
8 and 11.
Even this punishing work doesn't guarantee enough for food. Dorsan hasn't eaten for 2 days now. This is what helpless looks like. And he's one of the children making millions for multinational corporations in
Get
America and
mad.
China whilst they suffer in squalor. For this, they'll get maybe 8 British pence a day.
Walitusukuma tunaenda tena tunarudia. Mimi nashikia sana mkongo inauma. Sasa mimi natumia mkongo nimemaka na mbavu na nikula tunapita kile nyuma.
The tunnels are dug by hand with no supports. They frequently collapse, especially during rain. The miners climb down using holes carved in the rock and no safety equipment. This most precious of minerals is often...
And you telling me to focus on just keeping the laws, right? That's all I should focus on, right? Where's the laws to protect these innocent children? Huh? What are we doing that's why these children are being protected? Huh? Huh? But the Biblo's the end all be all, right? Junior is wilding when he says the thing that he's saying, right? Because I'm going deep down this rabbit hole. Huh? These little niggas is living in hell, and because they don't believe or they're not keeping no laws or whatever you want to proceed to believe, I guess when they die, they're going to go to hell too. So they're living in hell to die to go to hell.
Extracted and sorted by tiny hands. They don't wear gloves or masks, yet the...
No gloves, no mask. Just so your iPhone and your laptop could work while you sitting back with your feet up, listening to me on YouTube or anybody else in the comfort of your house. These are children.
The World Health Organization says exposure to cobalt and breathing in its dust fumes can cause long-term health problems.
So how long these children got to live? 17? Huh?
We visited 5 different mines across the south of DRC and found all used child workers. Monica's the youngest worker in this group at just 4.
4 years old. Nah, these niggas ain't... Yeah, y'all gotta see my face. Nah, I gotta see my face. Nah. They ain't just here with it. 4 years old. 4 years old. That's 3 years older than my son. Are you out your goddamn mind? And you telling me what? You telling me what? You telling me I gotta wait, right? While we sitting back on our laptops, on our $1,000 phones. This little homie right here probably got this for me. Huh? You see, everybody was talking truth, but I can't wait. Oh my jeez, I can't wait for when the wrath of the creators hit the fan, bro. When everything, all that comfort, all that comfortability, all that believing, I believe I can fly. No, watch. You're gonna wish that you died and you're gonna have to stay alive. Watch. This is what I think about. When I see my little man, I'm like, damn, so my little man he's gonna really have to grow up in this chaos, bro. And I know that same treatment that these people are getting over there, they're getting ready to bring it over here. You just wait and see. Oh, it's about to be nasty. Bantu Princess, man, you better get mad. I want you pissed off. I want you furious so you can feel how I feel. I want you pissed off so you can feel how I feel. Oh, I've been feeling like this for a very long time. And when I say, yo, we gotta do something, you know what I'm told with? Yo, you just gotta sit back. You just gotta wait. It's gonna come in due time. What due time? These little homies is dying, bro. What due time? The Belgians, my nigga? Oh. Alright.
But even those barely able to walk have lost their childhoods to mining. Natalie's 12 years old. My fingers hurt, she tells us. Miles away on a different site, Makumba Mateba shows us the cobalt tunnel he's dug with 3 of his friends. It's physically tough work. They removed all this rock by hand.
By
over
hand?
4 months.
It's incredibly insecure for them, although this is really rich in minerals and it's going down just 15 meters. There's no support bars, they have no protective masks or protective equipment at all. And right at the bottom, I can see water.
It's his village's water which Makumba's convinced has caused his health problems. After a lifetime of drinking it, he has a huge tumour on his throat.
Quand on est en train de travailler à Kitowe, là où on cultive la tomate, en train de cultiver, si j'ai soif, je pars puiser de l'eau.
There are countless reports of other health problems
Oh, my
from
bad.
those living nearby and
Hold
working
on.
on the mines.
On trouve les infections, minimum infection, ndio ile tunaona huko. Kasi mama anatumika makariere sana, tazama mtoto na infection shulungula, mwingine kuna bima buton, mwingine ndio tunaona donc makozi linatoka mama mimba nenda makariere.
These twins are just 2 days old, and although small, so far they're healthy, to the relief of their mother.
Oh, hii maminere unaleta maproblem kama wewe mwanamke unaenda kutumika hapo. Inaleta maproblem difficulty kama
No problem. I probably Creole. I could, yo, listen. All right.
Shi mwanamke ni mamwaya njoo kunetupeleka kukwesa mamwaya njoo kunetupeleka tunaenda kutumika.
But even if they stay healthy, the twins face a lifetime of hard labour as soon as they can walk. The children's cobalt is sold cheaply to mostly Chinese traders who we film.
Chinese.
They don't ask questions.
Let me tell you about these Xing Shangs. Don't let these people fool you. They as evil as they come, man. Go ahead and go order some food and you tell them you don't like what they did. They'll snap on you in a heartbeat, bro. We gonna hey, all right. Y'all play around if you want to. Don't let these Putins and all of these niggas work with each other. These are the children of Cain. These are the children of Lucifer. Are you out your mind? You are of your father the devil, and the lust of your daddy they will do. For they are liars, they are murderers, they don't abide in no truth, they are to kill, they are to destroy, and they're gonna do it by any means necessary. The lady says she got a newborn baby and she's afraid that when they get old to walk, they're gonna have a lifelong job. This nigga got a tumor in his throat for digging and drinking dirty ass water. And you gonna tell me that I gotta sit back and you gotta tell me that I'm not supposed to try to tap into those that know how to, that got the spiritual powers to take out these goddamn heathens? Huh? Shame on you. Shame on those that put religion over the people. Shame on those that put religion over the creators. Shame, because when you put religion over the people, you put religion over the creators, because the creators created us and their likeness and their image. But you don't like when I say that, though.
Questions about where their cobalt comes from or who's worked to extract it. They just want the best price.
The black part is cobalt.
Even those who aren't Chinese, this trading market has Indian owners, told us they sell onto the dominant Chinese exporter of cobalt, CDM. The cobalt first mined here is then sold again to the Chinese parent company, which then supplies some of the world's biggest battery makers. And those batteries, with ingredients which originated in DRC, end up in, for instance, smartphones. It's an intricate supply chain which allows easy deniability for the multinationals making huge profits. An investigation last year by Amnesty found similar human rights abuses. Nothing appears to have changed. Most of these child miners will never own a smartphone. They barely survive from day to day. And many other children like Dorsan will be back again tomorrow, digging out one of the most sought-after minerals of our time for a pittance. Alex Crawford, Sky News in the DRC.
Play the next one. Yeah, get mad. Get mad. Yeah, get mad. Get mad. According to the Biblos, these children are supposed to be protected. These innocent children are supposed to be a penalty behind that. This been going on for almost 200 years. But I be bugging though. Be putting everything on the table. If it don't add up, that means it ain't making sense. My bad, guys. I'm furious. Little homie, son. Little homie, I could be my child, bro. Let us continue.
The kind of mineral resources we have in our country is enough to take care of everybody in that country. We should not have a single poor person in Sierra Leone. But unfortunately, we are not given the free will to make decisions on our own mineral resources. There's always Big Brother who decides. And when you fight and say, no, we are not going to do this, they use the system to stop you. It's either they set you up with the opposition and they'll be supporting the opposition against you from the back, or they cause unnecessary chaos in your country so that you are not able to even govern your own people. You have to have peace before you talk about development. I'll give you a simple example about Sierra Leone. Every mining company that is in Sierra Leone today is owned by a foreigner. Every mining company. If it's not the Chinese, it's the American, it's the British. Our electricity, Bumuda, is run by the British, and we still don't have light. We're looking for light, electricity. If you don't have electricity, how can you talk about education? How can you talk about health facility? How can you talk about improving the infrastructure of your country? We don't have electricity. Now, do we actually even have proper water, pipe-borne water, so that our kids will not be sick? We don't have those facilities. Why? With all the minerals we have, there is a cap you put. Before my husband became the president of Sierra Leone was benefiting, they said, what's the word? 0.000.1%. What is that? Basically, a company can take as much as $100 million out of the country in terms of minerals, and then they can just give the country $10,000. Now, what will $10,000 do for our health system?
Neocolonialism, people. Neocolonialism, people. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
An army of children are at the heart of the mining production. Wearing no shoes and in the most wretched conditions, Dorsan is ordered to retrieve the sack he's forgotten. There's an urgency now. The rains make this dangerous work even more risky. And Dorsan's told in no uncertain terms he risks a beating if he messes up again. Dorsan, with Richard beside him, have worked all day. They're 8 and 11 years old. Even this punishing work doesn't guarantee enough for food. Dorsan hasn't had them for 2 days now.
No food in 2 days.
This is what helpless looks like. And he's one of the children making millions for multinational corporations in America and China whilst they suffer in squalor. For this, they'll get maybe 8.
We seen that already. We seen that. Look at this one right here. Look at this one. That's how they live. That's their crib, guys. That's their crib. While y'all sitting back with your feet up, eating everything that you want to eat, watching YouTube whenever you want to, listening to people how long as you want. See, I'm grateful for what I have, but I'll never forget what's going on to my people. Never forget that. And the fire burns. When I see this, it burns even more. It's like I gotta do something. I can't fight this system by myself. Where are the warriors at? Where are the men? Let me tell you what's gonna happen on this earth. Let me tell you what's happening. Let me give you an explanation of what's happening. Let me show you this is what's happening on the earth right now. Pay attention. You see, all the old heads and those that came up under the religious foundations and stuff like that, they're surely and slowly they're going up in age and they're being put to the side. Right? And then there's gonna come the individuals like myself, right? The one that's under 40, you know what I'm saying, under 50, under 45, that generation, the 80s babies. I tell you guys, the number 80 is the number that's gonna save humanity. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. So you see the 80s babies. You see, we're going to be the ones that's going to replace those. And we're the ones that's going to be the ones to not teach our children religion. There will be no religion being worshiped in this house. There will be no prayers being taken in this house. Oh, no. We give praise. You live all that pray on somebody. You leave that for the heathens and the demons. That's not for us. Our people have been praying and praying and praying, and we've been at the bottom, because you guys don't understand that prayer, which was injected by the Freemasons. Yes, prayer. You can also find the word prayer in the King James Demon book. The prayer was installed so you guys can pray upon yourself to allow demons, spirits to overtake you. And then they give you a religious book to tell you that you must remain in the spirit. And who's the person that's promoting this spirit talk? Think about this, people. Think about it. Who over here teaching this spirit talk? Paul? Jesus? Why Abram wasn't in the spirit? Why when Akubi was walking in the forest, why wasn't he in the spirit? He was just minding his business. But why all of a sudden now we're told that we got to be in the spirit? You still don't understand that you're being played? You still don't understand that you're being played? So when I say these things, like I said, I'm the bad guy. When I say these things, I am the bad guy. When did Abram have to pray to connect to the creators? Did the creators come talk to Adam after he prayed? Did the creators talk to Noah after he prayed? I mean, come on, people. You have to wake up and smell the Kool-Aid. These are rituals that these people has put in there. These people put their rituals in there. Why all religions tell you to pray? And they teach you how to pray too. And all of the religions teach you to do what? Get on your knees. And then close your hands. Your hands is electromagnetic. You ever touch something, it's an electrical shock because your hands are electrical magnetics. You're supposed to open your hands wide and point it to the sky and connect with the creators. You don't have to pray. You don't have to close your hands and bow your head. That is religion. That's why that's in all their statues. These niggas is like this with the cross in their hand or the goddamn necklace. Are you not woken yet? Huh? Why? Is it hard to accept this because it's coming from a nigga like me? Huh? That's why? You looking at me different? Why? Because of religion? How old was your Savior when he was standing before the elders and schooling them? Damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. Huh? You ain't think I was gonna come outside and talk this talk? What is this for? Nothing gets answered like this. Put your head down. Get on your knees. What was the curse that was put upon the devil? He said you will be a tittle to the freaking ground. And what he wants you to do to give praise and worship to him, he wants you to be on the goddamn ground. When you're supposed to stand up like a warrior, like a king, like a queen, like a prince, like a princess, like a bantu. Huh? You don't like when I say, huh? When I talk it, it's just like, nah, it can't be. I guess, hey, Bantu princess, hold on, check this out. I guess I'm not in the spirit, right? The spirit of truth is, I guess it's not in me, huh? Huh? I guess it's not in me. I tell you what is in me. Nanini. Oh, did he just say that? Nanini's in me. Oh, did he just say that? Sunini. Oh, did he just say that? That is all I need. And my ancestors and every single one that died for the cause, they are in me. The one that was hung, they are in me. The one that was lashed upon and beaten, they are in me. The ones that was falsely accused and executed and hung and beheaded, they are in me. The little homies I gotta dig, the little homies I had to dig in those mines and pick up them stuff and probably passed away, they are in me. They are walking amongst us. They are talking to us. They are telling me what I've been saying for how long now. And they tell me, they say, Junior, don't stop keeping your foot. Don't stop. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry. The doors is gonna open. When the devil's closed one door, Sunini opens another. I appreciate all the information that everybody that's doing the works provided for me. They took my focals, they took my eyeballs, they took it away from the Levant, from the Middle East, from the belly of the beast, and brought me to the land of peace. And said, this will be yours as soon as the heathens bow down to your feet. And they will. Oh, they will. You just watch and see. When we stop the religious nonsense, you throw it out the window, you get your ass up, you connect to your creators, you give praise and honor to your creators. You throw away this monotheistic bull s. You lucky it's December because I want to say how I really feel. You get rid of that. And you tap in the way you're supposed to. You meditate day in, day out. You see, it tells you to meditate. Never told you to pray. Hold on. Oh, where's the gavel? Where's the gavel? Where's the gavel? Let me bang the gavel on these heathens. It says meditate day in, day out. That's how you connect to your creators. You meditate. You just zone out. You don't gotta pray. You don't gotta close your hands. You don't gotta bow down your head and get on your knees. When you bow down, you give it honor and worship to the serpent who was cut down to the ground. Are you dumb or are you dumb? We almost finished, guys. Neocolonialism must be stopped by any means necessary. By any means necessary, it must be stopped, and it will be stopped. Oh, so Nene is waking up the children. See, you guys don't understand that they created division to keep us in a state of division. When the children that's out in the West come with and link up with the children that's in the East, and link up with the children that's in the North, and link up with the children and the people that's in the South, oh, these heathens gonna end up getting kicked out. That's why they want you to sit on your couch and put your hands together, clap your hands and stomp your feet and hope that Sunini is gonna come through the sky and save you and redeem you. Why did Sunini come from the skies and redeem Noah when there was goddamn huge giants on this freaking earth? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Huh? Oh, but in Jeremiah 63, Jeremiah 63 can kiss my ass. We don't want to hear that. I'm following the ways of my ancestors. Warrior. I do 100 push-ups straight. If you can't do 100 push-ups straight, you ain't war ready. You ain't, if your footwork ain't up to par, you ain't war ready. Put down these Twinkies and these Big Macs and these burgers and these drinks and these alcohols and all these protein shakes. Put it down and let's get it shaking. You know why we so angry? You know why we so rebellious? Because the creators is calling us, but the demons and the heathens is misleading us, misguiding us, telling us not to connect to the things we're supposed to be connected to. I'm telling you, people, you better connect to everything that's African. I don't care what it is. If it's black, we want that. If it's black, we want that back. But like I said, Sunini Nanini is waking up the children. And here it goes. Listen, watch this. Watch this, people.
Considered as a tactical way to defend the recent regime change in Niger, Mali's military junta said Monday that they stand to support the coup leaders in Niamey. Mali said they stand together with Burkina Faso to defend Niger and further warned that any foreign military intervention...
Is that a coalition taking place? They merging together? Oh, I'm sure these brothers and sisters ain't keeping the command, right? Right? I'm sure the Biblos ain't got them divided, right? Let's read.
Intervention with the Niamey will be considered a declaration of war on both nations with the Niger. The transitional governments of Burkina Faso and Mali, one, have expressed their fraternal solidarity of the people of Mali and Burkina Faso with their brothers in Niger, who have decided of their own accord to take their destiny in hand and to assume their sovereignty. Two, denounce the persistence of the regional organizations to apply sanctions that aggravate the suffering of the population and imperil the spirit of Pan-Africanism. Three, refuse to apply these illegal, illegitimate, and inhumane sanctions against the Nigerian people and authorities. Four, warn that any military intervention against Niger will be considered as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali. I repeat, 4, warn that any military intervention against Niger will be considered as a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali.
Oh, it don't stop there, people. Hold on. Hold on. Look at our people looking at these heathens straight in their face. Look, right here. Listen.
We can no longer continue to make policy for ourselves, in our country, in our region, in our continent, on the basis of whatever support the Western world or France or the European Union can give us. It will not work. It has not worked, and it will not work. Our responsibility is to charter a path which is about how we can develop our nations ourselves. It is not right for a country like Ghana, 60 years after independence, to still have its health and education budgets being financed on the basis of the generosity and charity of European taxpayers. By now, we should be able to finance our basic needs ourselves. And if we're going to look at the next 60 years as a period of transition, a period whereby we can stand on our own feet, our perspective has not to be what the French taxpayer decides to do with whatever surpluses that they have in France.
You understand? You hear what they say? We ain't trying to do with none of that. We don't want the French. We don't want their support. We don't want your religion. We don't want your ideologies. We don't want your philosophies. We don't want your theories. We don't want your opinion. We don't want your women. We don't want your kitchen. We don't want nothing. Matter of fact, we just want the vision. You go over there. We stay over here, and we'll figure it out. We taxing on the dollar. You heard? This is what's going on right now as we speak. This is not even brothers and sisters. This is brothers and sisters not even reading the Bible. They're not even reading it. But yet Sunini is working with them. Yet Nanini is dwelling inside of them. The warrior spirit is coming out. Something is not adding up. Makes you question, why did you give us this book? So we can sit still and believe, have faith, and believe I can fly. No, I believe that you heathens will die. Be unalive. Let us continue. I'll have to go read the book of Joel. Why not? Why not? We're using their books to take them down. Let's read. Look. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah in Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them, but therefore for my creation and for my heritage, the Bantus, who they have scattered amongst the nations and parted my land. They parted, remember, they parted it. The land was never supposed to be divided. It's never supposed to be Niger and Ghana and South Africa. They did that. It wasn't us. Let's talk about it. See, they're gonna tell you foolish. You can't partner in the Levant. in the Middle East. Okay, there's nothing there. It's dirt field. Let's continue. And they have cast a lot for my bantus, and have given a boy for a harlot. This is that little homie that you seen. He was given to the harlot, meaning he was working for the beast and got nothing out of it. That's right there. That's talking to you right there. You see, I'm gonna edify you because you guys be asleep. Let me wake your asses up, huh? And sold girls for wine, huh? Ain't that what's going on here in America? Ain't that what's going on here in America? Ain't that what's going on in Dubai? They're paying for your daughters to come out there, and what they getting in return? A nice meal and driving around in a fast car. Girls is out there getting manure poured over them for $20,000. How low can we go? That they might drink. That they might drink. Some of them don't even drink. Let's talk about it. Yay. And what have to do with me, Otari and Zidane? We know that's in the east side of Africa. Okay? And all course of the Palestine, they call it the Palestine, but it's the Philistines. We know that. Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because you have taken my silver and my gold. Listen carefully. Where's that at? That can't be in the Middle East. Talk to me nice, Jones. And have carried unto your temple. There's no temples. These niggas don't got temples. They got lands. They was taking our works and bringing it to their lands. Okay, you see, I crossed it out, left it good for you. My godly pleasure things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, unto the Romans, unto the Western, into the Caribbean islands, the Brazilians, the Portuguese, out in Europe, out in Asia. Huh? He was sold, pimp. That you might remove them from far from their borders. You shipped us in places that now we don't even desire to go back. We fall from our borders. How close are you to the Holy Land? Very far. They're talking about you, pimp. Behold, we will rise. You see this? I said we. I put we and let you know it's two of them that's doing this work right here. We will rise them up out the place where you have sold them. Oh, is that Jones that's waking up? Is that him rising? Is that Bantu princess? Is that black girl magic? Huh? Where the warriors at? Y'all waking up? I'm honored to be the one to guide you into this wake up. Huh? Mama love is dwelling in you, right? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good to realize that women has just as much importance to our creation? But monotheism made you feel like women ain't nothing but servants and just helpmates. Yes, they are helpers, but they have their own powerful position on this goddamn earth. Don't let these heathens mislead you anymore. Sunini's children is waking up. The warriors is waking up. Let's talk to them nice. Let's continue. Huh? Behold, we will rise them out of the place where you have sold them, and will return your recompense unto your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters unto the hands of the children of Judah. They ain't going to sell it to us because we don't want it. That's their interjection. We don't want it. Ain't going to be nothing sold to us. They're going to be given unto us for what? We'll find out. Because I don't even want them in servitude. I don't even want these people around me. That's how gangster I am with it. I don't know about you, but I'm on that type of time. You feel me? Let's talk it. And they shall sell them to the Sabines, to people far off, for the Creator have spoken it. Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles. Prepare war. Get ready, because it's about to go down. Huh? Wake up the mighty men. Oh, wake up. If you still sleep, it's because you ain't mighty enough. Too much ding-dongs and hamburgers and pizzas. You got to put it down, pimp. You got to put it down, mama. It's twofold. They waking up the mighty men on our side, and they're waking up the mighty men on their side. Wake them up. Tell them to get ready. They got to come fight. Let all men of war draw near. Let them come up. Let them come up. Oh, Donna. Let's bang the gavel on these heathens. Huh? the war will happen in Africa. Hold on, let me show you. Victoria Fall is the valley of Jehoshaphat. You see it? But look right here to your right. You see it drying up? Do you see it drying up? Do you see it drying up? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Wait a minute. Let me pull it up for y'all. So you can see it firsthand. You see it drying up? You see it drying up, huh? You see it drying up? You see it drying up, huh? I know. It went from, look at this. Look at that. To this. Huh? 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 This used to be a huge waterfall. Look how it's drying up. Setting up the stage right for these heathens. Huh? They telling you, look, this is a before. You see the before? You see the after? You see the before? You see the after? Oh, Donna. Oh, Donna. Huh? 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 Give all praise and glory to the creators, man, for they are worthy to be praised, man. I meant to put the extra slide giving all praise, but I wanted to leave it at 30. My apologies. My apologies, people. Huh? I got all the jewelry on today. We ain't playing. I've been gone. I was gone last week, but we ain't playing. Any questions? Any questions? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Any questions? I know. The neocolonialism needs to stop. Enough is enough. Sitting back and watching, enough is enough. We got $2.2 trillion of spending power. Why aren't we not investing into our land? Why aren't we not investing into our people? Why are we not owning? Why isn't we doing business with those people? Why are we allowing these Asian people to come in our land? Because you niggas want to buy Bentleys and Jordans and sneakers and all this foolishness. You guys wanna live this wonderful life in America. Meanwhile, your homeland with all these minerals, that place is gonna be the land that's gonna be worth $1.7 gazillion. And when it's all said and done, only the righteous will be there. Only those that never submitted themselves to any form of religion will be there. I'm not worrying about nothing. It's drying up, people. Right in front of your eyes. That war's gonna happen. Remember, the word says, you shall be persecuted for my name's sake. You're not gonna be persecuted for same ascendancy. You're not going to be persecuted for believing in Sulini. You're going to be persecuted because you denounce and deny Jesus Christ. That's when you're going to start being persecuted. See, you guys don't understand the word. You guys are not reading it right. You guys are allowing Europeans and with the philosophies and the theologian teachings, man. And if you was taught theologian, it's gonna be hard for you to get out of the space of theologian / religious foundation. See, I don't have no theologian in me. I could care less for that. Like I told you, I wasn't raised in the church. I was raised to dodge and survive the hearse. You heard? We was designed so we don't get put in our hearse. That's how we was surviving to live. You was going to church to live, to survive for Jesus. Anything I ever did in religion was in honor for my mother. When I came into this Hebrew nonsense, I came in there because I was losing family members. I said, this ain't normal. This is not the life. This can't be the way for me. And even prior to that, I was still on my journey into finding myself in Africa. I'll show you. I could show you if I find my graduation pictures, I'll show you. In my graduation picture, I was the only one dressed from head to toe in an African garment. Everybody, especially people of color, was in there looking like a European. I was in there with an African garment. I was in there with 2 chains. I had an African continent chain pendant on, and I had a pyramid pendant on. I was outside like that with it. You hear me? For my graduation of college. You can't tell me the creators wasn't walking with me from the get-go. But now here I am now, 2024. We here to settle the score. We kicking down the doors, raising the 4-4. Or you gonna hear these brothers say, please, Junior, don't bang this gavel no more. I'ma continue on you heaters and Negroes next. You guys better, the word said, choose ye this day who you shall serve, right? Choose ye this day who you shall serve. Are you serving the creators or are you serving the Lucifer? Because the creators don't know what monotheistic is. I just showed you. I had a brother, shout out to my brother, and he was talking to me. He said, listen, the biggest, powerfulest counterfeit creation, the biggest creation of European powers was monotheism. He said, we as African people, black people, we've always been connected. We've always been connected to the heavenly realm. We never believed in monotheism. We never believed in it. These things was forced upon our people. And when I tell brothers and sisters that, brothers and sisters still look at me and say, nah, bro, I don't believe that. Something in my spirit. Of course, something in your spirit. Because the spirit that's inside of you is a demon. And the demon is going to want you to give praise to his daddy. It's not going to make you give praise. It's not going to make you give praise and glory to the creators. They're going to create things and tell you stuff like Nanini or Nana is wrong and it's evil. Who's telling us this? These Europeans. But they tell us celebrate Christmas, Easter. Some of you guys don't even understand. Some of you guys don't even realize. Matter of fact, let me show you something. See this book right here? Back it up a little bit. You see this? Show you something. You see what this says? It says Christian astrology. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it as that because I'm still looking into it, still reading it. I'm gonna give you guys a full breakdown real soon. Real soon. We'll look into that. Remember the last Samba I gave you. I gave you where the story of Jesus, where they took it from. How it goes side by side with the book with the story of Horus. Remember I told you that. Remember I told you that. This is why I tell you guys the Biblos can't be the end all be all when it comes to finding out who we are. Cannot be. Sorry. Sorry. No. Nope. Only a fool would despise knowledge, not me. Nope. Nope. It's a reason why the Biblo is the number one selling book. The number one selling book in the world, but yet the world is at an all-time high when it comes to wickedness. I wonder why. I wonder why. It gives me clear explanation into why when I sit down and I speak to certain individuals, everybody's vocal point always from the guidelines or the foundation of religion. Always. Mm-hmm. And ever since I said I'm not, and ever since I said I'm no longer participating in religion, ever since I said that, people seem to feel like I'm not in the right space. I'm trying to figure out what am I saying wrong. I'm trying to figure out what am I saying wrong. I'm trying to figure out what am I saying wrong. You heard it all before, okay? Remember who's giving us these information. Stop telling me, don't tell us that they can't change everything. My nigga, these people change everything. You telling me these people are afraid of changing the word when these people have no problems and tying us up on horses? You know the symbol of Levi, the Levi clothing? You know it's two horses and it's supposed to imitate the the decapitation or the slicing in half of innocent black women, right? And I find it crazy that it's titled Levi. That gives you a clear understanding. That's just right there is a confirmation to let you know that even these heathens, these Khazars, the ones that's claiming to be the children, had their hands in your demise. The reason why there's freedom of speech here in America, because they want you to continue preaching and prophesying on the lies. You ever heard of the karmatic revelation? Karmatic revelations are things that's happened on the earth by the hands of the enemy. For example, the Olympics. Or when they pre-program you for things to come. You know, they was pre-programming us in preparation for 9/11. They used to put it all through the cartoons, but we never noticed it until it happened. And now people is showing it. It's like, damn, wow, they really got us. I'm telling you guys the truth, man. I'm telling you guys the truth. We have to be awoken and understanding that we being led astray. We have to be awoken and realizing that These people has created a foundation called religion that gives you the opportunity to decide to process what you want to believe, whether it's truthful or not. If you accept it, you stand on it. And if you stand on that, and if anybody else don't stand on what you stand on, then you can't rock with them. That's what religion has done. There's a lot of people I'm very disappointed in. People that I really thought was really about the awakening of the Bantus. But I come to realize that they just following the trends of religion. And it's cool with me. I rather you show your hands now than when it really hits the fan. And when it comes from when you show your hands now, then when it hits the fan, I know when push come to shove, there's a possibility that you won't even be there to give me a helping hand or be for the cause. This is a battle that we in, people. This is the biggest fight that you guys have ever seen in your life. Redemption is the hardest thing that anybody has to overcome. But you want to be asleep. You want to sit still. You want the doctrine that's gonna make you feel all amped up and say European references and mix it with Bantu and refer to the creators as father. How disrespectful. This is what we doing. And you're wondering why we in these circumstances. You're wondering why organizations like GOCC members is walking away. You're wondering why individuals in the Sakari camp is walking away. You wondering why IUIC is falling. True word. You heard my phone go off? That's not me doing it. Message. See, the creators is calling. Brothers and sisters is talking to me and saying things and saying, wow, I never understood that. I never knew that. I said, of course you're not gonna understand that. But the problem is, let me tell you what the problem is. The problem is everybody wanna be the ace boom boom. I never wanted to be the ace boom boom. I just wanted to knock out a goddamn coon. That's all I wanted to do. Never wanted to be the ace boom boom. But what can I do? When the creators put me in a position, what you want me to do? Say no? So my house can be shaken like how Jonas was shaken, how he almost killed everybody because he wasn't doing the creator's will. I gotta do it. All right, so be it. It is what it is. I'm not mad. But I'm very disappointed in my people. I'm very disappointed in the brothers and sisters who's professing to be calling on the creator's names, but yet still moving like Europeans. Still under the foundation of Europeans. Still can't see that the name Sunini Nanini is two names in one. So the creator had a surname. It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic, bro. And we complain and we nag and we forcing ourselves to act like we have nobody's great. I'm not great. Nobody's in a position. No, there's absolutely no slave that can be in a position to choose what to accept and what not to accept when you don't even got the options to leave and go back home. We got to do better, people. I say this because I love you guys and I want you guys to really connect back to the creators, man. I walk through every door. I make my mistakes. I fall down. I battle my addictions. I battle my frustration. I battle it all. That's why I'm able to stand before you in full of peace. But of course, the fire burning. You hear the earthquake? You hear the tornadoes? I mean, the tornadoes. You hear the thunder behind me? You hear that? Every time I'm talking, every time I'm speaking, and I start talking that talk, you hear the. And you gonna tell me I'm not the one that's connected to the creators? Oh man. You telling me I'm not the one connected to the creators? You telling me I'm speaking blasphemy? Huh? Putin Adams, you telling me I'm the one that's speaking blasphemy? You don't know what I'm talking about. You under the guidelines of religion. You can't talk to me about the creators. You don't know nothing about the creators. You know about God. You know about Jesus. I don't know about that. I knew about him. I kicked him out my door. Kicked him out my house. I kicked Israel out. I kick all of them out. The only name that's still in my house, that's still mentioned amongst me around my table is Sunini Nanini. I showed you guys records where Modimo is considered the mother god, but they tell you it's a man, right? Hey, who am I? Anything that the creators tell me to bring out, I bring out. Anything that they tell me to talk about, I talk about. Look how I finished talking about this. Samba Conversation is over. It's a thunderstorm right behind me. Loud. And every time I say what I'm saying right now, the thunder strikes and it gets louder. Choose ye this day who you shall serve. I will forever walk with the creators. Whoever created this universe, I give honor unto you. And I will find you. We will find you. The chosen will find you. Your creation will find you. We will find you guys. We will tap in. We will leave this earth without never seeing death. Just give us the time to continue finding you, because we will find you. All praise and glory to the creators, man. This was another phenomenal one, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Bounty Princess, man. Bounty Princess, man. Listen, I know I gotta talk to you directly. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, you see the type of time I'm on. We're on a whole different frequency right now. We on the rise. We on that rise. You know what I'm saying? I ain't supporting nothing that ain't supporting the creators. I ain't supporting monotheism. I ain't supporting Jewish philosophies. I ain't supporting Jewish opinions. I don't care who wrote it. If it's not a black man that's from the land, like shout out to the elder that came onto the show and wrote this Bantu spiritual awakening. See, I'm reading his book because that's a Bantu from the land. And even though there's a lot of things that the elder may not know, that's not for him. This is how we rebuild the nation. Each one teach one. He's teaching me, I'm going to teach him, and we're going to come together and we're going to terrorize this entire world. If it's your first time, people, like, comment, share, subscribe, do the whole shebang, man. Share this to your friends and family. I know it's a long one, but you know how we do out here. You hear that? You hear that? You hear that? That's the creators talking. Fear them. Honor them. Yesterday I did a whole live. Before I digress, I did a whole live. I'm standing under a metal post. They tell you when it's a thunderstorm, never stand. You know why I'm able to stand? Because I know the creator's forever walking with me. I ain't worrying about nothing is gonna electrocute me. I am him. And if it's your first time, I hope it's not your last time. If it's your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, that means I'm still on your mind. That means you gotta stay on that grind because it's time to shine. You better get yours because I'm going to get mine. And if I said it once, let me say it again. I am him. Mr. What? Mr. Keep my foot on you heathens, you he-goes. And the newly installed Hedonite snacks. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Listen to the creator say one time for the one time. Are you dumb? And I'ma holler at y'all. One.